We're live.
Why does this fluoride taste like tap water?
Iron Palace Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast. And I know what you're thinking. Caleb, you keep saying that, or you all look so shredded. What is your stack? Or even what's it mean to be the most anabolic podcast? Well, here's our answer. Try us, and you'll see. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how we're so shredded. You know, like
Me too.
It's got to be the podcast.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
At this point in time, yeah, that's all I'm doing.
It's always, yeah, you know.
I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, on a science level.
On a science, yeah, you're right.
I thought it was because I switched the extra cheese I put on my frozen pizza from mozzarella to a low-fat Mexican blend. But it could be the podcast.
Could be, most likely the podcast.
Yeah. Well, so to move on to our guest introduction, I know you see him, you've already heard him, so let's get into it. Climbing walls to climbing into your mom's DMs, running marathons and running through your dreams both day and night. Hang on to your seats while we dive into the mind of one of the most versatile athletes we have had yet. His name is Justin, the Comeback Kid, Peercy.
I mean, I think we can end there. That was solid.
The only thing that made it better is if you could hold those like cold serial killer like eyes just for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing I think you need to do.
The
Just
secret to
stare.
good podcasting.
Right
Podcasting is looking directly into the cameras
Yep.
and not blinking. Wood.
Retweet.
Did you see that? The whole intro just.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And episode, actually. Just
Okay. Well, no, I already given up.
So have we.
yeah. I gave up when we talked about it. All right, so icebreaker for today. If you were to give yourself a bad nickname, what would it be? David?
Ghost is taken.
The Destroyer.
The Destroyers. Why is Ghost taken?
Oh, I know. That's
It's hard to put your finger on it. He's just so elusive. Some say he doesn't really exist.
I don't know. I feel like if you call yourself Ghost, you're probably really bad at Mario Kart.
I was about to say, I know Ghost has never been seen in first place in Mario Kart. There's never been a ghost scene there.
Nope.
But ghosts have feelings, so tone it back.
Oh, sensitive. Very sensitive feelings, actually.
All right.
They don't like talking about it either.
But I mean, if you want to talk about it, they'll talk about it.
Yeah. What about you, Holland?
I don't know. I mean, bad nickname is in like
Seepage. That's a good one.
seepage.
That's Big Seepage, dog. That's my boy Big Seepage.
Got that big seat.
Like, as in one you wouldn't want. Yeah,
Big
I'll go with
seepage.
seepage.
I don't know. One you wouldn't want, one that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
That's my boy Big Seepage. Like, oh, don't ask. It's a
Yeah.
condition.
What did I say my
He's got
wrestling?
overactive glands.
What did I say my wrestling name was?
Heavy flow.
No. Incontinence.
Incontinence. Yeah.
I'm sticking with that one. That one's going to be my forever answer.
I don't know. Heavy flow is pretty good. Maybe you should change it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Were you gonna wear pads or just gonna?
No, you got to dance around it. You got to be like river themed. Like, be prepared for heavy flow. Just act oblivious.
You may have seen a waterfall, but you ain't never experienced the heavy flow.
You ain't never had flow like this. If flow like this consists for more than a week, you should see a doctor. You might need stitches.
We can stop there.
I mean, WWE, you listen to this?
Yeah, oh.
This is gold.
You could put me in any persona, Vince, or whoever you sold it to, you rapist.
I mean, he can
They've
get knocked
settled it
down a
quick.
peg, dude. He's super rich.
Yeah.
He's all right.
He was too
did.
busy knocking his peg down. That's the problem.
Did you see his plastic surgery, dog? He looks
No.
rough.
Oh, that was kind of cute. The mustache is hilarious.
Oh, dude. Like, who told him that shaving your mustache down to like a pencil line is not a good
He's
idea?
got like a
He looks,
Pepe Le Pew
he looks like a really bad like action figure of Vince McMahon because he had so much plastic surgery and he's got a mustache now. No good, just a mustache.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he wanted to look like his action figures.
Maybe he was trying to like not get caught and didn't get to skip town in time before they busted him.
He peaked whenever he tore both quads sliding in the ring. That was prime. That was prime time for him, buddy. But
yeah, and he kept the skit going.
yeah, that's why that was peak Vince McMahon. It's all been downhill since then.
Yeah.
I like to watch like those like throwback episodes of like him and Stone Cold going at it.
Oh yeah.
There's one where like Stone Cold's in the hospital and he comes in and just starts knocking the metal tray.
I'll take her from here, nurse, and starts hitting with the bedpan. I like the on location they did was Booker T in the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
We'll pass out too. And Lawler's like, I don't know about him. Let me get the hell out of out too. That was peak television.
Dude, that's what we need to get John Lynn on. We need to just like start beef, or we just do shorts where we just attack each other out in the street.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I had a funny. Oh, we're good. What are you saying, dog?
I wasn't. You were saying. I wasn't saying
You were
anything.
podcasting, dude. I didn't want to go ahead.
Yeah.
What is a podcast?
That's a great question. That's deep. You just froze us in our tracks. Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa. What do you wait?
That'd be like if you were Andrew Schultz right now. That'd be the rest of the episode. You'd be like, "Well, no, guys. Well, I had a really good idea. Like, what is a podcast?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like I get it. We're on microphones and we're talking, but like, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we really?
If five dudes get in a room and talk and there's no one there to hear it, do they make a sound?
I mean, we definitely make a lot of sounds. I just don't know if it's ones that other people want to hear. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the Strongest Man on Earth competition is going to have a Max Atlas Stone.
Good segue.
I'm nailing that, dude. Call me. I almost said Maul Blart, but
Podcasting 101. Want to change the subject? Started with so.
yep. It's either so or so if I say anyways, then I get called out for it. But if I say so, I still get called out for it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Ooh, combine them.
Conjunction, junction. What's your function?
So, anyways, they're having a Max Atlas Stone going up. So, whenever I heard Max Atlas Stone, I thought, I don't know, some kind of loadable stone that they're gonna. But it's gonna be kind of like whenever they do the what's the grip where like you do the certain, you can pick the number, but they're worth more points. Basically, if they're up to a 600-pound stone. If you do do the stone over bar with the 600, that's more points than however many reps of the stone under it.
Right.
So, but there's like 8 stones. It's pretty crazy.
What do we know what the weight of the heaviest one is? Is that
600.
What's the max? Oh, 600 is the max.
Yep.
Sounds heavy.
How many? Yeah, I mean, like, how many people have actually loaded a 600-pound stone?
You know that.
I feel like only about 3 or 4 guys have ever done that.
Yeah, I've been listening to the podcast with Brian Shaw and Terry Hollins, Jeremy Pritchett, and Chalet, where they just talk about what?
The last name just kind of threw me off. It didn't sound like a real name. Like you had like real names than Chalet.
Chalet.
Anyways,
That sounds like an hors d'oeuvre.
You like some more chalet?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take the chalet.
Yeah.
I
On the
want it
side. Chalet on the side, please.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were talking about it, that there's really only a handful of people they think can actually get to the 600-pound stone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of strategy involved of, do you try it first? If it doesn't go, then you move down.
Yeah.
Or do you just not even waste your time and just try to go for reps on a stone you know you're going to get?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen an event like this one before. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in see how many people attempt the 600.
I think Tom Stoltman for sure.
Yeah.
I know he can load a 600-pound stone. He's done it. He has the world record for it.
Yeah.
So I know he can do it. Then we've got the Mountain.
Yeah, Thor.
Hafthor Bjornsson. I know he's been training with some pretty heavy stones.
Yeah. I think he's done the 600 before.
I'm pretty sure he has, but I know he's already said he's going for the 600. Mitchell Hooper, I think he'll get the 600. I think he'll try the 600. I don't know if he'll. Mitchell Hooper just always shocks me.
Yeah.
Because he's like, overall size, he's not that big.
No, and especially looking next to those guys, like standing next to the mountain, he looks like a regular guy. I mean, he looks like a regular buff guy.
Yeah, like
he looks like a regular
whenever
guy.
me and Alan met him, I think we've talked about it before. I took a picture with him expecting to go and get a picture of this rather large human being. And
yeah.
I mean, he's big, but
he's just crazy strong.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the update on that going on right now. I'm still waiting on more updates for that. And we went over all the athletes and everything last week. So the Kentucky Open's coming up.
Yes, it is. When is it?
August 17th.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm so proud of you, Dave.
Dave's got that.
That's what I do. Married to the game, boys.
So,
I think that's thunder.
I thought it was my stomach for a second.
I thought something was scraping the house. I was like, what's happening? Anyways,
we're getting attacked here.
Kentucky Open's
Somebody's on a
August
Zeppelin on the
17th.
roof.
We did find out that Alex called out Juju Mufu, and we're not going to get a response from Juju Mufu.
He respectfully declined.
Yep. He said, nah, I'm good.
Alex scared him away.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He said he didn't want that smoke.
Yeah.
He's got emphysema.
But that wasn't the only cool thing that's going on. Me and Holland are going to break a world record that we just found out is also the heaviest lift done in the USAWA and IWA.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I got distracted by I was listening to the bag crinkle, and I was like, no, thank you.
This is the ASMR portion.
But yeah, I didn't realize though that because I figured
ASL question mark portion.
I figured some of the other like weird crazy lifts that they had, like the hip lift or something, they might have had some heavier. But apparently, this is the heaviest lift.
yep.
Total
Apparently.
poundage wise
So kind of a big deal.
So I mean, whatevs.
Yeah, whatevs.
Are you gonna go for it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go for that first? Or are you gonna?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I mean, we already have it.
They've done it. They've just not done it in front of the
Yeah.
appropriate judges.
We're the current record holders in. Yep. Yeah, we got the full competition first, live podcast, and then the 2-man deadlift.
So
Seepage and heavy flow on the bar.
go check that out.
All right, so to kick it over to our guests some, because I definitely laid these all out of order, is Justin, you for some reason like to run marathons.
Yeah.
Do you like hate yourself or?
I mean, what
I just like the pain.
You don't have buns like that and not take them out of the town for a little stroll.
So you run marathons? Do you like a power walker?
Still technically haven't completed a marathon yet. That's the current goal.
Yeah,
And,
Caleb. Follow his career closely. I know
Yeah,
that.
did a half marathon last November up in Oak Ridge. That was pretty fun.
the Oak Ridge, that's a good course, isn't it? It's pretty flat.
Yeah. The first part of it sucks, but after like the uphill, it's all.
Yeah, and you're down there by the lake and stuff. It's pretty cool. I ran that I ran that half.
I was about to say, how do you just know this?
You should have been there cheering him on like I was at the finish line with a bottle of water and a sign.
Yeah. What? You thought this couldn't run a half marathon?
No, it just seemed very odd that you just.
You
out
thought
of
he got
nowhere-
this sitting on the couch?
Yeah, I got this physique sitting around.
I thought you got that physique from the podcast. We talked about that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I had a mental breakdown and started running, and it ended in a couple of half marathons, and then I got over it. Now I wouldn't run if something was chasing me.
Yeah.
I will say though, I did feel good.
Yeah.
Like overall, felt, like
Not straight.
hey, no, like I don't know. I just felt, at any time I felt like I had enough energy to go and like right now, if somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go play a game of basketball?" I'd be like, "Man, no way." But like when I was running, anytime somebody was like, "You want to play some ball?" I'm like, "Yeah."
See, whenever I ran a lot,
I could do that.
When I ran a lot in the Air Force, there was not a single time that I ran that I didn't think at any moment I could die.
Oh well, during the run, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, at any minute, this like my
Or
life
in my
could just
opinion, it
I could
was.
cease to exist.
Well, I mean, that's all like why you train for it, though, because if you train, you don't really get as gassed out. I mean, you can keep on going, obviously, but
Yeah,
it's like the level of recovery for like once you've been doing it. It's not like, I don't know, it's just a way drastic level of difference between like being out of shape and going it, and you just get gassed out, your side hurts, you just feel horrible. Like I can go 3 miles and be all right. Like just
I can
But-
drive 3
Prove
miles
it.
and be okay.
Like,
But yeah, we'll time you. Go.
all right.
how often do you run? Like how many days a week?
Every day almost.
Oh, really?
Ew.
married to the game.
Yeah.
Been doing 5Ks after work.
On purpose?
Just run a quick 5K.
What's your time on your 5K?
So in last winter, I did one that was 25, 24. That was whenever it was
Hours
cold
or-
out. No, minutes.
Cool. That
Wait,
sounds fast.
Yeah, 25?
Yeah.
Jesus.
25, 24, though. You got to count
Oh.
those seconds.
That's 24 seconds.
Yeah, it's almost half of a whole minute.
I did one at the track, and I got 27 and a half like a week ago.
So do you? So like when you go to run a 5K, do you have a specific pace that you're wanting to hit, or do you just run whatever's feeling good?
Yeah, I don't try to go out too far. I'll try to keep my pace. Right now, like 9 minutes and 40 seconds, I can keep that and just keep on going. And then, like, eventually it'll start to I'll start to slowly go slower, and then
Yeah.
that's whenever it's like, all right, this is definitely my level. But I also got, like, really into, like, low heart rate training, where you basically train your heart by not going hard. Basically just, like, really easy runs. You're supposed to, like, get your body to break down the lactic acid more efficiently.
Really?
Yeah, that's like the whole point of like why you don't get tired. Just
Yeah.
your body gets way more optimized on like breaking down the lactic acid. I don't know.
Cool.
Just
So
keep
what's
on going.
lactic acid?
Well, you know, like your muscles, you use them.
Sure.
It's what. It's
I'll
what.
Google it.
It's what builds up around your muscles that causes them to burn.
I was going to say, don't use the, if you're talking about this stuff, don't use the phrase, you know,
It causes.
when talking to Dave.
It's
Dave
one,
don't know.
it's one of the things that causes your muscles to burn when you're.
Well, I mean,
when
if
working
you're a
them.
scholar of bro science, then you know.
and it
Yeah, I only know lactic acid by name. I was just seeing if you had some clever explanation
it impedes oxygen retention into the blood cells.
like that. Yeah. Because it's like a lot of things where I know the phrase,
Basically that.
but I don't
yeah.
know anything behind
Checks out.
I mean,
it. That math tracks.
I could go in depth.
I have a
but Holland's,
PhD in bro science.
Holland's pretty much already said it, so I just no need in going in depth on it. But
But yeah, I've never heard of the low heart rate training. Like that sounds
I haven't
almost counterintuitive. Like you feel like you want to go hard, push it, and then it's easier on the race day or whatever. But it's interesting.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of runners that do it. Basically, they'll do 80-20, where 80% of their running is done at a lower resistance level. Like, they don't gas themselves out. They basically just do it to where you can keep on going. Not supposed to be able to, like, if you can talk without taking a break, then that's where you want to be at. Basically, you want to see people, like, running and being able to talk at the same time.
I definitely can't do that.
And then just kind of like an all out sprint.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think I can walk and do that either.
Not necessarily. It depends if that's what you're trying to do.
It's all falling into place because I have heard like if you're running, sing out loud your favorite song, and it's supposed to help you breathe and stuff like that. Maybe that's why. I always thought that's BS, but maybe there's some credence to it.
I will say, anytime I've talked to a runner and I ask how they got to where they're, excuse me, how they got.
If
to,
anybody wants to look it up, it's called methadone training. Like that guy was
Methadone
saying,
training.
Methadone.
Hey.
He's the guy that.
Oh, you had me, and then you lost me again.
I was interested, and then
But do you have any like weird quirks or like weird things that you use during training? Because like, okay, for example, I asked a guy in the Air Force, how do I get better at running? And it was one dude told me to do these certain stretches. One guy said, yeah, I made a playlist of my favorite songs that adds up to the time that I want to finish my run in. So do you have any weird stuff like that?
Not really. Just run it And then one thing that's good to keep in mind is don't go for like a distance. Just go for like a set amount of time instead of focusing on distance. Because if you just focus on like a distance, you're just going to try to just keep on going faster and finish up as possible. But if you just go with the mindset, okay, I'm doing this for 30 minutes, then you know you're going to be there for 30 minutes. You're not going to try to speed it up or anything like that.
What he's leaving out is he's been running backwards this whole time. So those times are actually really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm the backwards man. Yeah. Backwards man. No, backwards as fast as I can.
Bars.
Bar.
Wow. So apparently I went about my training when I was running completely backwards because I was like, I'm going to get 3 miles in. And then I would try to get those 3 miles over as quickly as possible.
That's what I always did.
Yeah. Or like today is going to be 6 or whatever. And then, I was just, as soon as I could get done with 6 is,
Today, 2 3/4 rounds up to 3.
Yep.
But,
yeah, I do that like.
I hated every second of mine, so I guess I should have tried it the other way.
I went through a phase where I was doing cardio, but my cardio was like walking or using a bicycle, and I would say, "All right, I'm gonna do this 30 minutes," but then I would see that get to like 1.0 something mile. I'm like, "That's good, boys. Like we're done."
I've done a mile,
dude. I burned 100 calories.
Exactly. That's basically that's more than I ate already. So
I say I don't like to run, but now that I think about it, I'm pretty much a toddler, and I run to places a lot more than I should as an adult man. So I don't like run for distance or anything, but best believe I'm not losing a race in the parking lot to my wife when we're leaving the grocery store. Like
you're like Noah.
Yeah,
Noah does everything in like little sprints.
I'll run like just across the house. Like all the time, I'm going from point A to point B. For some reason, I'm running. I'm a toddler. When we walk in the grocery store, I tell my wife, I'll race to the car. She'll go, no. And she'll flinch, knowing that I ain't no punk and I ain't about to lose, and I'll run the whole way. Like, knowing she's not going to run, but I'm not going to roll those dice.
she did.
See, I'm not running
You're
to
like
the
a
car.
dog. Whenever you just like act like you throw the ball, like go get
it. I keep my eye, like, I race to the car, she'll go, no, and I'll keep my eye on her. And the minute she flinches, I'm gone, dude. I don't give her a chance, son. That was her chance to start. If she don't start, then that's on her. If she's trying to play reindeer games, her heart ain't in it, that's on her.
So you're running to the car. I'm riding the grocery car. To the car.
Yep. I don't know. I usually flip them now. If you're too big for it.
Her other favorite move is right before I get. She hollers first when there's a loser.
To the very far end.
Yeah, I do that, but then the handle doesn't exactly hit me at my waist. So.
Oh yeah, you're too tall for those.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw this one video. This guy's trying to like do one of those poses on the top of the like little thing. He's like leaning all the way over, and he falls straight. You saw that?
Yep.
Oh, it's so great.
Yep.
Falls into it, and then the thing falls over on top of him.
He falls all the way into the shopping cart, and then the shopping cart then tips over with him in it upside down. Pretty killer.
That's pretty stellar.
Yeah, he was trying to do like a handstand on the handle, but it didn't have enough weight in it.
The handstand people drive me crazy. The people that like pose as a handstand everywhere they go, like the Grand Canyon or in front of the Washington Monument or what, those that drives me crazy. I'm like, yeah, okay, you can do a handstand. Big deal.
Yep. I went through a thing where I was watching all the I wasn't doing CrossFit, but I liked watching the CrossFit games.
Whoa, that's you might as well.
Slippery slope.
That's exactly. That's not a pool you dip your toe in. You've jumped in and you've experienced it.
Oh, what are they doing on this one?
Yeah.
Well, I was at the gym.
I can't look.
I was at the gym. I was practicing Highland games in the field out behind the gym, and I looked around. Nobody was there. I was like, how hard is it to do a push-up handstand? Or like a handstand push-up? I'm like, it really can't be that hard. Turns out it's very difficult, and I never tried it again.
We used to have to do them for wrestling. It's terrible.
The guy on Letterkenny can do a lot of them. When he played Shorzy, that's what he said. They were like, "What was your favorite part about Letterkenny?" He's like, "I don't know what my favorite part, but an exciting part was I got really good at handstand push-ups." Anyways, let's all try a handstand push-up.
I tried one. They're hard.
So you're the only one that hasn't tried one?
I could have.
Do it right now.
He probably has.
I've done many like a handstand against a door, and I would be surprised if I didn't try a push-up. But I don't really think about a lot of things I do. So
We know.
it's one of those things. I might not have. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, what got you into running? To go back to our guest.
Speaking of,
what got you back?
His feet.
Did you just wake up one day and decide,
Yeah, dude.
Hello.
Left foot in front of the right foot. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And gritty on out of here, son.
No, I've always wanted to run a marathon.
Just kept going.
And
I
then
was running.
decided, all right, well, let's try to do this. And then
I made it this fall. Figured I might as well keep on going.
yeah. But basically, yeah. I don't know, just started getting into it, and then once I started doing it a lot and followed like other people that would run, like I don't know, got addicted to it. You know, like I don't know, it's fun stuff.
I don't know.
Did they know you were following them? Like what?
Yeah.
Stalker.
Well, I've not caught them yet, but I try.
Sometimes you're training to catch them. They're not even runners.
I just go to where they run and I chase after them.
It's those old ladies that
They
walk
just run
around the mall
faster.
real early in the mornings. He's been chasing them around on Sunday mornings. Just, I'm gonna get you.
Got the Rocky theme song going on.
I'm just trying to get a pretzel.
Whole montage.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
how many half marathons have you run? Just that one, or
Yeah, just that one.
okay,
Way to bring that
a
up.
bunch of 5Ks?
Yeah, I mean, I've done the distance before, but that's the only like race I've done for the half marathon.
Yeah.
A couple of 5Ks.
You're gonna do an Ironman?
Kind of want to, but I've got a lot to work up to that.
I'll do it with you if you wait for me. Like a lot of waiting.
That's a great idea.
Like as long as your time's not important to you, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I know there's a guy. They're on the Stones of Strength podcast. That they do. He said he used to do a lot of Ironmans every year, but like he wouldn't even train or anything. He said he believes that once a year every man needs to test themselves. So for him, that was do an Ironman once a year, every year.
But you know, most tests you study beforehand. So like,
I mean, he said he was a fit guy. And like he did a lot of running and stuff before.
oh, okay.
Like,
So
it's
he
the-
just didn't train specifically.
Yeah,
for
he
it.
just didn't train specifically for the Ironman, but he just said you got to test yourself once a year. So
Yeah.
Ironman, I was like, of all things to test yourself with,
Hey, speaking of testing yourself, there is something I want to do in March next year. They'll have like 100-mile race. And I do want to see how many miles I can get, like in a day. I don't know.
That's pretty dope.
if you do it, I'll stand at the finish line holding a shot of Fireball.
Well, I don't. Man, fireball after a race? That's ridiculous, dude.
He does that
I
before
just
the
like
race.
water
Oh.
is like, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, there's water in it, I think.
I mean, like, yeah. But, you know what? Yeah, fireball after that. I'm down. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, Caleb.
I know a guy that runs those 100-mile races and ultra marathons and stuff, and he's
Depressed.
well. No, I was just thinking he's like in his upper 40s now, and dude is in crazy shape. But like, it's funny though. He'll be like the the race will take 24 hours, and he'll be like, yeah, about hour 17, I got to feeling like maybe I'd broken a bone in my foot. Popped a couple of aspirin, made it pretty good. Like, what the heck?
I broke a toe 3 weeks ago, and I'm not whining about it, but like 6 times, dude.
No, well,
It's
yeah.
not that bad.
I almost forgot that you done it.
He only cried for 15 minutes.
And I didn't
have
cry out
other
loud
toes.
very long.
Have y'all heard of that race that's done at Brushy Mountain or around Brushy Mountain?
Yeah.
I forget what it's called every time.
Berkeley?
I think so. It is. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the guy that owns that land. Like the entrance to the race is just whatever he needs or wants that year. It's like one year to be like, I need socks. So your entrance fee is like you give him a pair of socks. But it's like a 24-hour race or
Let's
something.
hope we don't get lonely.
Yeah, it's like a 20-something mile lap, and then like each mile you got to collect like a page from a book.
Yeah. You gonna do that one?
I mean, you have to be invited.
I'll invite you.
I don't think you have that authority, but okay.
Yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because we're racking up stuff, which brings us to our next point is our ads. So
Yes.
we've been raking up some discount codes and stuff for everybody. So Holland, why don't you start it off?
Yeah. So, one thing that's cool is all the stuff that we have ads for is stuff that we personally already used, and like Zone Smelling Salts just here recently gave us a discount code, and it's the only smelling salts I guess that we've all used.
Yep.
I've only ever used Hollands, so yes.
Yeah, and
I used them before I hit the 800-pound world record. So
yeah,
I got a question.
Yeah.
I know you guys use that for lifting, but can it also be used to crack into a Slim Jim?
Oh,
That's the only way
Definitely.
I've used it. Yeah,
Alright.
I about to
Yeah.
say,
I
why do you
use it to
think,
open Slim Jims or to go. That's strong.
yeah.
I about to say, yeah. That's why do you think Dave used them?
Or, you know,
Made my hair look like the old Slim Jim guy too. Remember him? What an unhinged character.
driving into work, like being all sleepy, like, man,
Still drunk
I
the night
gotta
before.
wake up.
I have thought about doing
Crack
it.
open that smelling salts from Zone. You're going to be awake the rest of the way in.
I thought about doing it the other day because I was having a hard time waking up.
Yeah.
I almost did it, but I remembered you talking about doing it. I won't.
Just make sure you roll your windows down first, because you don't want to be in the enclosed cab with all of that.
So, Zone Smelling Salt.
Zone smelling salts.
Use code TIPP.
Yes, TIPP, get a 10% discount.
I'm gonna switch to that. I've been using breakfast natural lights on the way to work, and they've not been working.
No, Zone
It's a
smelling
solid
salt,
beer to drive
way
on,
more
but
effective.
it makes me kind of sleepy.
Yeah, and then
Fair point.
our newest one is houseware.
Yep.
If anybody follows me on Facebook or Instagram, they've seen several of these shirts because it's about the only workout shirts that I buy. We got a hold of them, and they were kind enough to give us a discount code, TIPP. Also, TIPP will get you 15% off at Houseware.
Heck yeah. Then we also have another new one, which is New Age Performance. I don't think anybody other than me uses it, actually, but it's from... Okay. Well, Alan just ordered one after.
Get my discount.
Yeah. Well, you keep ordering stuff too early.
Yeah,
But if you need a mouthpiece, it helps line up your jaw, helps lifting feel. In my opinion, it makes lifting feel easier because it feels like you're a little more centered. We're working on a code, but right now we have a link on our Facebook. Follow it, and you'll get a 10% discount on it. What else we got?
NutriFit.
NutriFit, our tried and true.
Yeah, our number one, our oldest one.
I actually did have a guy, shout out Sam Graves, been on the podcast once. He actually caught me at work the other day to tell me that he ordered some and tried it, and he loves that stuff.
It's
good
awesome.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like everything that I've tried from them has been fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's what I normally. I used to be very picky about what supplements I used, but I tried that one because I think I got it on a discount from somebody, from a friend or something, and then that's all I've used since.
Yeah, and then I don't have to worry about like looking elsewhere for, you know, like by any of my other supplements. I know I can go to NutriFit and it's going to be.
Yeah, you can get anything you need at NutriFit. Use code CalebCDay on that one.
Discount also.
Yep.
Is that a capital C?
Yes.
Okay.
And then let's see.
And,
Just
and,
one of
and
them.
it's written as all at one
No,
word.
because there's two
KFC.
capital C's. Right?
There could be.
So, so to recap, it's NutriFit, use code CalebCDay. Zone Smelling Salts, use code TIPP. Houseware, use code TIPP. And New Age Performance is currently a link on our Facebook. More to come on that code,
Facebook's like 2 likes away from 600 too.
Yeah.
if we're not already.
Yeah, we're blowing
97
up on
last I checked.
Facebook.
I'm thinking it's probably 608 right now.
Oh, did you
but
check?
I don't know. Just I sense it.
Well, I think you're the only one that can check, Holland.
Hey, I can. You're right. I can check.
Mine and Dave's phones are predisposed.
I don't follow, so I don't.
Attaboy.
Get off the podcast.
Well, if you go follow, we'll be at 598.
I'm pretty sure I do.
All right, so to finish out our
My inner anti-establishment
Put your picture on here.
rebel really supports him not following the page. Actually, I'm here for it.
I am nonconformist.
Yeah.
so to finish out our questions for our guest before we move on is, what's your sign?
Virgo?
I don't like confrontation, Mama. I'm a Virgo.
I've been asked that in so long.
Do you like long walks on the beach?
Yeah, dude. We don't have a beach, but
And
I
meatless
like
spaghetti dinners.
What you doing after this?
I mean, what's up, dude? Spaghetti?
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
There's a bit of a podcast tradition off air afterwards. We all get in a big pile and sort it out.
Dave always calls bottom.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let you know. All right, so to move on to our
I'm the
everybody's
conductor of this train, boys.
I want to be the sauce that goes over all the noodles.
You'll be the sauce, and I'll be the train conductor. You'll be
What?
the sauce to my train, dog.
I don't. All I know is I'm very uncomfortable.
all I know is it sounds like Dave's trying to get lost in the sauce over here.
I think we just invented Skyline chili.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next part of the story.
I think that's an overrated chili.
110%.
Yeah.
They're real fast and loose with the word chili.
Yeah. I mean, they're so proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, cool. Crappy spaghetti.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Sorry. Go ahead, Caleb.
All of Ohio, really. It's the butthole of America.
Yeah.
Except for Columbus, Ohio. That's where the Arnold is.
Well, that's the only thing that
Polish turd. It's still a turd, buddy.
Kings
They're
Island's
there
pretty
'cause it's cheap.
too.
I've not been to Kings Island.
Was that the one that the roller coaster was broken and the guy called and was like, hey, your roller coaster's falling apart, and they shut it down? Or was that?
Dude, probably. I went there and I just drank a lot of beers and went on coasters. It was so fun, but it sounds like
One of the major ones. It was either that or like a Cedar Point or something. There was a guy in the parking lot waiting on his kids to get out, and like you could see one of the arms holding up the roller coaster. Like you'd see daylight through the crack when it would move. And he kept calling. Was like, what's going on? Yeah. Then the state come in and shut them down for
Pressure
a couple
relief
weeks. But yeah,
joint.
it was broken like clean in two, like near the joint of the top of the hill. It was nuts. Pretty cool.
I mean, does the top matter that much?
Probably not.
Top.
Apparently not. Nobody died.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dude. You're so eager.
Wait,
Anyways.
are we done with
Skyline chili is not exciting enough for you, I guess.
Yeah.
No. So, you ready to guess who the story is today?
Yes.
All right, so this week's going to be a little bit short because the guy is still going. So that'll give you your first hint.
Josh Steppe.
Doug.
No.
Oh.
No.
Holland.
I mean, Holland is
Travis.
still going.
Allen.
He was born in Kentucky where he still lives.
Clint Poor.
No.
Oh.
He only got into weightlifting after being forced to either go to jail or enter rehab.
You sure that's not Clint Poor? No, I'm just kidding. Kidding, Clint.
Yeah. Nobody forced him to go to rehab.
Clint's never been in any kind of trouble, just so you know.
Clint's a saint.
He's 6'3", weighing between 430 and 470.
Oh,
For
Clint's way too
competition
light
weights.
for that, yeah.
Yeah, and short for that.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Yeah, what a douche.
Leave it to the tall guy.
Do you have any guesses before I give you your final hint that will definitely give it away?
Terry Pritchett.
No. Did you say Terry Pritchett?
Yeah.
It's Jerry Pritchett.
Jerry, yeah, whatever.
I only know that because I yelled, "Hey, Jerry!"
Yeah.
at the Arnold. All right, so he was featured on ESPN for a powerlifting meet where the bar was misloaded during his world record attempt.
Julian Maddox.
Julius Maddox.
Julius, yeah.
I was right there.
Dude, it was like right at
Yeah.
like the tip of my tongue.
I'm just glad someone else was here this week that just had no idea. I'm always just like, I'm just going to wait for them to get through this.
This Julius Maddox is a beast.
Yeah.
The guy bench presses like what? And the thing is, okay, so like he benches raw what most people can only bench in suits.
Oh yeah, that's in here.
Yeah,
It's insane.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like, I was getting ready to really get into it. And then I was like, wait, Caleb has all this prepared already.
I have a whole paragraph or a couple. So he started out, he was highly sought out for many D1 football teams, but ultimately struggled with drug addiction and depression and was about to face jail time. So he's given two choices: serve 2 5-year prison sentences or join a program. So he joined a program.
That sounds reasonable.
So during recovery, he found a weight set and then began his journey towards an 800-pound bench press.
Yes.
He dominates the raw bench press scene in such a way that he keeps pushing his own record higher since no one can come close to it. In August 2019, he would press 739.6 pounds with wrist wraps and no belt, breaking the record that was previously 738. Come November of the same year, he would press 744 pounds, still only using wrist wraps. Then fast forward to March 2020, where he would press 770 at the Arnold, beating his own record again.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I think everybody's just kind of giving up.
Oh, yeah, I would have.
They're like, I'm going to wait for him to retire.
Then in February of 2021, he would break his record again by pressing 782, and then went on to attempt 800, as I said, on ESPN when the bar was misloaded.
Yeah. And it wasn't misloaded like they didn't put a 2.5 on one side. It was a 55-pound plate that was missing.
Oh,
on
yeah,
one
it
side.
was a whole thing.
Like that could have been disastrous.
Yep.
I was thinking you guys were on camera and not me, and I had a minute to just kind of unwind.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
But you can't get away from the camera, man.
No, he's too good.
He was literally the one talking.
I wasn't paying
So
attention at all.
why you thought?
Because I wasn't paying attention at all.
David didn't even know who was talking at that point.
I saw this shining out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, how is this fastened to the wall? Oh, it's just sitting in little hooks, huh? Guess what's no longer sitting in little hooks on the wall?
It was before it's sitting behind you.
It is literally.
Yeah, I'd kind of trailed off.
Will you talk to the other one?
Not if it's bigger than mine. Hold on. You'd have this one.
All right, fair enough.
Take it home with you. A little souvenir.
I feel so powerful.
Okay, so
You want to
You
clean?
want to come sit on the couch with me and Holla?
Oh, dude, I get
That was satisfying.
nice.
so they're sword fighting in here.
Whoa.
You guys just keep on.
Hey,
not in here.
chills. Chills.
Yeah.
We
Dude, I see why those Greek dudes went out and like did this and filled each other up. Because like,
What?
oh wow. Caleb, keep reading.
So he's attempted.
my inner Spartan's waking up, boys.
He's attempted 800 pounds a couple of times, but one of those was, as we said, misloaded. And he was given another attempt, but by then he was already spent. In an interview with Men's Health in February of 2024, he said that the build-up to being the first man to bench press 800 pounds is starting to wear on his body. So he's ramping up for another attempt soon, saying, "I can always give it a shot and see."
Yeah, whatever. It's just 800.
Yeah, it's just 800 pounds. So he can also be seen on social media accounts pressing even more impressive numbers, such as 795 or 700 pounds for 3 reps or 640 pounds for 7 reps, which are unofficial rep records. He also holds the official world record for the most times bench pressing 1,700 pounds in an official competitions, having done it 10 times.
That's insane.
10 sounds a lot tougher than like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
About one more than 9, actually.
So will he get the 800?
We will soon find out.
I think he's got it.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
The crazy part is by the time he started breaking records in bench press, he'd only been lifting for 7 years.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a D1 athlete.
Yeah, I mean, he
D1
was-
caliber athlete.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like he was just some schmuck that started lifting weights.
Yep. I know he's even talked about how he gets a lot of hate at competitions when he comes in because of his sheer size. I mean, at 6'4", 440 plus.
Oh yeah, it's one of those people like, oh, I could lift that much if I was
Yep.
that heavy.
Yeah, mass moves mass, bro.
Yeah,
Trade me.
it gets on my nerves.
I think I accidentally walked into a jihad. This one was made in Pakistan. I'm more of a crusader, less of a whatever the opposite of one of those guys were. They didn't have a cool name.
Have you literally not noticed those there?
They've been hanging there
Today?
for a while.
Literally since we set this up like this, that they've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were there the whole time.
Can I name mine?
Yeah, sure. What you got?
Susan.
I was thinking Rupert. So if that one's still not
I
taken,
do like Rupert.
Rupert.
This one can be Susan and that one can be Sarandon.
Could be
Ah,
Thelma and Louise.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Louise is a little saucy. She'll get away from you if you ain't careful.
You guys hear this clank?
Yeah. Look. Oh. Bro.
Make that a sound
Bro.
bite.
Dude, that made my groundhog see a shadow.
And what? Run back in, run back into its hole? Like what?
You boys better get ready for 6 more weeks of winter, is all I got to tell you.
This is Sparta.
Made in Pakistan.
Where are we?
I don't know. Yeah.
In the Iron Palace.
I mean,
dog. You're not used to seeing men wield weapons in the palace, dog?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no.
Is that not how you do these?
We do this so you can have this.
Yeah. You're on the front lines playing our life. So you can lay in this cozy palace 4 more years. Just me? Whatever.
All right, so I guess we can go to our tip of the day to finish off my notes.
What about these tips?
Well, coincidentally, my tip of the day is, hey, Dave, why don't you give the people a good tip to help them in their daily life?
Don't respond to Indian men when they slide your DMs on Facebook and tell you're beautiful. They won't leave you alone. Like, they're not just there to pay you a compliment.
It sounds like a bit personal.
And he's not really a prince from Brunei that just needs $100 and then he can send you $5,000.
Hold on, back up. Prince from where?
Brunei.
And where is that located?
Yeah.
Wherever Tyrone's from. I'm starting to think it wasn't really his name either.
I mean, I'm starting to think all of that was a lie, you know?
Maybe.
And I don't think my $100 is ever going to come
I
back.
think the largest or most expensive, not the largest, but the most expensive car collection in the world's in Brunei.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are like moldy.
Are you saying Brunei or Brown Eye?
Both. Your heart knows.
The Sultan of Brunei has the world's most valuable car collection.
And like most of them are like musty and moldy. Like he just threw them all in a big building. And it's not climate controlled or anything.
What's crazy?
Can we back up a second? Is Brunei really a place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got a dictator.
For a minute, I really thought y'all just synced up at creating your own imaginary
There was
place.
some cars that are expensive just because he was like, Ferrari's like, we don't make a car like that you described. It's really ugly. And he's like, what if I give you $10 million? I said, we'll make you 2 of them. So he's got like a couple cars that like he's had personally made by big car manufacturers that he's designing crap. Like that. It's a weird collection.
If I remember correctly, the only part he's the Sultan of Brunei is the only person that has a car collection that is worth more than Jay Leno's.
I can believe that.
Jay Leno has the world's second most
Yeah, he's got
valuable
like a
car
lot of like
collection.
old like Le Mans Bugattis and stuff that really pump the value of his collection.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing that he got wind of a 40-something Bugatti that was in a river in France. And he
that's
he
the only
flew
thing
over
cool out of
there
France.
and had it pulled out and flown back and refurbished.
Like I'm not a big fan of the French, but Bugatti was cool, and to get a Bugatti from the 40s out of a river in France is even cooler.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the extent that Leno
pretty
goes
dope.
to for his cars. Like,
And won't go through the hoops to buy a Ferrari, which
Yeah,
really
it-
says something about Ferrari.
yeah, he won't own a Ferrari.
I did not know that. He doesn't like Ferraris?
Well, no, it's not that he doesn't like them. It's just he doesn't like the salesman. So Ferrari, I'm sure you've seen like that DJ. He painted his Ferrari and they sent him a cease and desist.
College?
No.
I
I
know
can't
what
remember.
you're talking about.
Yeah, but anyway, so Ferrari, like you have to interview. You go in and get it. Like you could have all the money in the world. You go to Ferrari and say, I want to buy that car. They'll go, what other Ferraris have you owned? And you'll be like, none of them. They'll say, you should probably start with a used one of these and go find. Like they kind of vet their customers.
Yeah.
So Jay Leno's like, if I've got the money and I want the car, you should sell it to me. I'm not going to go through any hoops to get it. But then he went through the selection process to buy a Ford GT. So
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a Ford GT, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it did beat Ferrari in Le Mans
it did.
3 years in a row.
Vroom, vroom.
But like the only 3 years.
Well, and then they came back with the 50th anniversary edition,
Did it win?
and it won. Yeah, like every time they've come
Oh
out.
no, I've got them confused. I was thinking the first time they remade it was the 100th anniversary of Ford. I don't think that one even raced in Le Mans, did it? I know the new one did.
I was
You know what I'm
thinking,
talking
I was
about?
thinking every time they came out
The early
with,
2000s.
with a version of it, they raced it, and it won.
I didn't know if that one
but
did
I
or
don't
not.
know. Yeah, I have to-
You know, it's got a
I'll check
100 in the
that.
headlights for the 100th anniversary of Ford. They make a 100 and it's pretty cool. Anyways, clank it. The haters are sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Look at him.
Sick.
Al,
Give me my axe.
Alan, you want a lightsaber?
I'm about to put a stop to this foolishness.
I was about to say, Holmes, you've got an axe right next to your head the entire
You think
time.
you'd step to both of us, dog?
With an axe and that helmet.
See,
Well,
two
the
swords.
Batman's
axe has
wearing-
2 sides, so.
Yeah, you got 2 swords, and he's got 2 blades on an axe. Like, it's fair.
I mean, think about this. There was a what is
Justin's got that dog in him, though.
it? Yes.
We can edit the layout and post.
I forgot which button it was. I almost hit a different button, and I remembered that's not it. I almost hit this one.
Yes.
It's not the same.
Hey, Mr. Blacksmith feller, is there any reason besides just decorative and this not being a legit sword why you would not have have an edge coming all the way close to the hilt?
Well, for one reason that a lot of swords people do is they hold up here. That's part of their grip when they do stuff.
That's what I was wondering. Neat.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want you to put your fingers on top of the cross guard.
Yeah, because
then you're begging to have them cut off. But that is the grip and some.
I begged for a lot
techniques.
of weird things though.
Yeah.
Thanks. This has been Holland's Blacksmith Corner. It's a reoccurring segment.
Well, oddly
we
enough,
can do that.
Holland has worked on that one.
Oh yeah, that's the one you cut the cake with at your wedding.
Yep.
Oh,
that sword.
Yep, that exact sword.
But talking about the axe versus the sword, there's the Battle of Sanford Bridge.
I wasn't smart enough to go there.
There was one Viking held a bridge against the entire British army for like, I don't know, I can't remember how long. What had happened is the British had caught these guys in camp and they weren't like ready, and so they were all trying to get across this bridge and back to their boats. And this one dude just got in the middle of the bridge and was like, "Go ahead, guys, I got him," and held them off long enough for everybody to get on the boat and sail off. Just one dude on the bridge with an axe.
I heard some narc yesterday on YouTube trying to correct Herodotus. It was like, it wasn't really 2.5 million Persians. It was like 200,000. Like, when you're a couple thousand Greeks,
Yeah.
after the first 10,000, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's no difference in 2.5 million, 200,000 Persians.
That's like I read a thing they were talking about how they disagreed on the total number, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, one thing that they can agree on, it is the largest army that had ever been assembled at that time. So who cares?
I don't think how many there were. I think it's the ratio that matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and like you said, anything. I don't care if it's 1,000.
Yeah. 10 dudes versus 200, terrifying. 10 dudes versus 3,000, not much different than 200.
Not really. It's not really any different. No,
bunch of squares.
Yeah.
I'd take them.
You know how they
We
ended up,
could with this right here, dude.
with Susan over here, I bet he's got it.
Yeah, dude. Susan's ferocious.
Dude, Susan's got a bit of an attitude on her, dog. You don't want
feisty.
Susie's got some zest, dude.
Susan snaps back. You be careful.
So,
old Winterford over here, though. She's a sturdy gal.
So Caleb, did you mention in the introduction that he rock climbs?
Yeah.
And we never mentioned it.
Yeah, not at all.
Well, we hit quite a few segues, so
We just asked him. Yeah, and I thought that was something. I figured that was something that we were going to lean into a lot.
well,
Climbing
I was
We
going-
all did. We were waiting on you to set it up.
But we just went.
We all talked about it earlier.
waiting on me to set it up.
Yeah,
Dude,
you got the tablet.
So
I can grip so hard.
You're the man with the tablet.
You want me to set it up, but then you want to constantly derail it.
I felt his grip. I don't need to know about it. You guys go ahead and elaborate on it.
Yeah, I would like to have been. I would like to have been notified about this beforehand. I could have brought in the gripper.
Like, physically it feels firm, but emotionally it feels very gentle.
Yeah, pretty spot on, man.
So how long have you been climbing?
Yeah, we can go into that.
About a couple years.
Yeah.
Went up, there's a gym in Knoxville I go to. They do a bunch of stuff, or you climbing the walls. The grip training is actually, I do a lot of the training for the grip. And then I'll practice on like a little board, supposed to hang from, and it's got like a little small section to hang from. So I basically just like have my fingertips on it and do pull-ups just on the fingertips.
Oh man. So you do fingertips, and you'll do like, they have grips where you can get like 2 fingers on or 3.
Yeah.
You do the
Thumbless.
bucket of rice.
Yeah.
What's the bucket of rice? Put me on.
Put your hands in, squeeze.
I mean, quite literally, it's just a bucket of rice. You just move your hand
Just
in.
for some resistance, you get your hands in and squeeze as hard as you can.
One thing that it works too is the opening part. You know,
Yeah.
like,
You do like all different stuff. It's like push in, open, kind of thing, and then squeeze.
but
It's like the good girl, bad girls, but for your hands.
No, basically just hang from them.
yeah.
Just hang. That's it. I do that. Supposed to do it like train the tendons. I saw one video where this one guy did it hardcore, and he'd do it like once every 12 hours. So like wake up, hang on the tendons for a little bit. But like really crucial not to overstrain them because they can overstrain pretty easily. But apparently like twice a day between 12 hours is a sweet spot to building up those tendons.
Sounds painful.
Yeah. You do so
Man, those many a sweet spot.
what's it called? Bouldering when you're just climbing, not attached to anything or whatever.
Yeah, they've got bouldering is like instead of being attached to a rope and you climb up really high, it'll be about just not as high, maybe like 15 feet, and it'll have like a big old mat so you can fall down. That's more like technical things to where they could have like, it could look like it's random holds, but you have to be like intricate and think out where you need to put your hands next and like what sequence you need to get in order to get it done. That's really fun. I like doing that, but sometimes it gets a little annoying because you're trying to figure out what all I need to do.
Yeah.
Fun stuff though.
You just want to get up.
Yeah.
Where do you usually go to climb?
There's a gym.
I mean, outside, like, do you climb, like?
Yeah, there's a couple spots here. I know there's a spot called Lily Buff Overlook. It's about like 80 miles away. And then there's like another crag spot in the wilderness.
Back up.
Now we're
What-
talking.
A what spot?
Crag spot in the wilderness.
Crag,
Do you have a statue of Moloch there? Can we go?
Yeah, dude. I'm down.
Man, it's Bohemian Grove action, dog.
Yeah. Got a little owl statue up right
Yeah,
Yeah.
that a boy.
Yeah.
That's why I like Justin. We spend
Yeah.
time on the same lanes of the internet. You knew exactly who Moloch
Hanging
was.
out there with the Illuminati.
Yeah. Do you know who Moloch was, Caleb?
What about me thinks I
Because
know.
you've hung out with me long enough that you should know who Moloch is by now.
Listen, I think that's why me and you get along so great is because we are still kind of polar opposites
Like,
as far as our.
you ignore everything he says, he ignores everything you say.
But I'm talking about the globalist.
As far as our like social media inputs, couldn't be more different. Which usually cracks me up because like whenever I'm scrolling through my For You page,
Look on Mulan.
this is exactly what I'm talking about. So whenever I scroll through my For You page, my wife will ask me, "Why is this what's on your For You page?" I said, "This is nothing. You need to see David." Like if I show you half the crap David sends me, you probably won't question mine anymore.
And I like send you like
the censored
the
ones.
cream of the crop of what I get. Yeah, like I'm sending you the least weird.
Speaking of
I
least
will
weird,
say, hold on, Dave, you send some weird stuff, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
My favorite thing on the internet is just people that are super freaking weird with really small audiences. Like if I find somebody on TikTok who's live and has no likes and no, I'm glued for an hour. I'm like, let's see where this goes, dude. Let's ride this tiger.
yeah, there's been so many times that you've sent me one that I watch and go, "What was the point?"
I was like, I'm out there. I'm the
There's
pioneer.
sometimes Dave will send one and I just go, no.
Yeah, not doing it.
Nah,
Don't want that in my history. Yeah,
yeah.
2 seconds in, got to get that out.
I'm doing the
Not going to
footwork.
mess up my
finding-
algorithm.
Don't want to be part of that algorithm. Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the guy to find these people.
This is pretty bad that if Justin is just like you and he's saying that, you have gone too far, Dave. Time to reel it back in.
I don't know. Justin sent me some pretty messed up memes too. We balance out.
There's
True.
a difference between messed up memes and whatever you're in over there. Because half the time they're not messed up. They're just,
I feel like it's like a Venn diagram kind of thing.
for one, don't ever make that hand gesture at me again, please.
There's room for you in the meter.
Speaking of social media, if you are somehow still listening,
There's no way people have made it this long.
please click follow.
At least two of you.
Subscribe.
Well, three of you. At least three of you.
Yeah.
If you click follow, we'll get better at being on topic.
Yeah, we'll try harder.
Yeah,
Seriously.
if our audience gets bigger, we'll have to be more on topic. Is that right, Dave?
Huh?
Yeah. Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
You boys got anything for Focus?
I drive a Focus.
Still? Hell yeah.
I hate it.
Did you ever get the drawings off your hubcaps?
Yeah, maybe.
I drew little wieners on every spoke of his hubcap in the brake dust, and like he could not get it to come off.
That brake dust is built Ford tough.
Yeah, 110%.
I'll tell you what was not on mine was the lug nuts.
Yeah.
God, I know.
Yeah.
So I know we put out the video, but have you guys? I know you obviously have, but have y'all seen the lug nut off his truck?
I mean, I saw the video. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So
looks like a castellated nut. I think it's like chopped all the pieces.
Don't listen to the podcast while you're changing your tires. You'll over tighten them, and then it'll take an air chisel to take them off. All 24 of them. I had to replace all of my lug nuts.
What about the studs in them?
The studs.
He brought the stud.
Yeah. But the studs held. Yeah, they were.
That's
fine.
more surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to replace all 24 lug nuts. That's $160 worth of lug nuts.
If anybody was wondering what the conversion rate for lug nuts was these days.
What park store had all 24?
Oh, they didn't. Yeah.
Had to go to 24 different part stores.
He had to go to Pet Boy's corporate office. He had to meet the Pet Boys.
He's been to all O'Reillys in the tri-state area.
I would call and they're like, we have 3 of them. I'm like, okay, all right, 21 to go.
And they'd say, all right, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive.
It's like your little side quest on an MMO. You're like, all right, I've got 3 of 24. Got to go find the other ones.
Took me a week and a half to gather up all 24.
God.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can start winding down. If
I just want to know who named those. Lug nuts.
Yeah. Where does the lug come from?
Yeah.
The wheel stud, that's a lug.
Who decided to call that a lug?
I don't know.
Yeah.
well, now you're just asking the wrong.
Yeah.
Robert Lug.
Wait, is that real? Did you make that up? I was about to say, did you just know that off the top of your head? That's mad impressive, dude. I was really impressed for a minute. Thought you just straight up knew the history of lug nuts, dude.
Back in 1898, Robert Lug, you know.
He studied the origin of mini nuts.
He's a resident nut expert.
He squeaked.
What kind of nuts are those? Say it. Lug nuts. That's right.
He can identify 99% of the nuts in the world blindfolded.
I bet he's just like you, Dave. I bet he walked up and they said, "What should we call this lug nut?" Like just first thing.
Like, why? I don't know.
Dude, Hickeys.
What'd I say to call them? Lug nuts. Why'd I say that? I don't know.
Who called him that? That's dumb.
All right, anybody got anything else to add? That's required.
All right, we got that. We got that on camera.
Thank God.
It was mainly for the audio. That sounds phenomenal.
Clink. Yeah, the sword.
That was
Clink.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
needs to be the sound bite.
I mean, if the swords weren't readily available, I'd take that all day.
yeah,
That sound and clip every time they touch
yeah. Him just every time they
Yeah, every
clank,
time we clank.
clank.
I'm not going anywhere with you two.
I'll have to ask Austin if that's sign language for clank.
I was about to say, what's the Portuguese sign language for clank?
I'd have to take my shoes off.
All right. Well, Justin, thanks for coming out. I hope, I know we really didn't get to ask a whole lot of questions because we spent a lot of time talking about.
I mean, I tried, but
Yeah, we were trying.
If I'm being honest, I don't really know what we talked about.
Yeah.
I know we talked about lug nuts.
Lug and nuts, dog. And we talked about Skyline Chili.
Yeah. And Bugattis.
Yep. And French Rivers.
Yeah.
We clanged swords.
I named this sword Susan.
He did.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten. Yes.
Classic Dave.
Classic Dave. All right. Anything else?
What's going on in the world of Caleb?
Yeah. We got time.
You asked me this. Hold on. What?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in like a minute.
Yeah.
So the podcast
Don't-
is the time to catch
All
up.
right,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Don't
well,
put him
I'm
on
caught
the
up.
hot seat and then not take it back. You can't stand the heat. Get out the studio, dog. He's laying it down.
Yeah.
All right. What you got? What you got?
I mean, I don't have anything to follow up. You caught my bluff.
I didn't. They did.
Yeah.
I was
gonna
leave it
back
alone.
you up
Yeah.
until you admitted that we had called your bluff. Like if you would just stall
Now
for a
we're
second,
leaving
I'd been
game.
right there.
See, because I was letting it go. Dave called you out. So
Yeah.
Don't put this on me. You know which side your bread's buttered on, big player. Little mama.
So one thing that's going on is we're all competing in the Kentucky Open.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Competing is a strong word. I'm going to go lift.
Yeah, well, you're competing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
It's a competition.
You
and
may win.
You are a competitor in a competition.
Yeah.
That means you are competing.
You might not be competitive.
I'm lifting.
I competed with your dad for your mom's affection.
Whoa! Dude, that was probably the worst Christmas. It's not funny, Holland. Dude, you made me call him dad and everything.
I was just at work.
Wow.
All right. So to end this before it gets any more
Affectionate?
sure. Remember, every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. Rocky Balboa.
See, Dave, just don't give up, man.
You talking to me?